Hello. Welcome to Friday the 13th, everyone. I'm going to turn some lights on. How's that? Is that a little better? That is a little better. So, yeah, welcome Friday the 13th. It's a little late in the day, right? It's after 5 o'clock here in Utah, which is definitely different. To go, I don't know what it is. I've been going live Friday nights after 5 pretty consistently. I think there's a part of me that believes that just knows that nobody's watching then, right? So going live is always easier. You can say you went live, but you also know that nobody's going to be watching. So anyhow, well, welcome to Friday. I have a little message that I wanted to share today that was a couple things happened today that I thought was pretty interesting. And I've thought about them a lot. We had a really cool presentation yesterday, and it made a big difference in my mindset and what I've been thinking about. And so I just wanted to share it. So let's get the intro going, and we'll jump right in. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I really do. It's yeah, going live has always been a bit of a. It's different. It's a whole new world out there, and going live is definitely part of it. And I appreciate that, and I get that. But wow. So for anybody who's watching this ever, I appreciate it very much. Very, very much. So my name is Aaron Stewart. I have been in entrepreneurship and doing either researching or actually living entrepreneurship for the last 30 years. That does date me. I don't care. I'm happy to be my age, and I'm happy to be where I am in life. And I just have gotten to a point where I have seen some of my experiences and wisdom and advice actually make a difference in people's lives. So it's fun for me now to go live knowing that perhaps somewhere, somehow, what I have to share is helpful, right? That makes it worthwhile to me. So we're going to jump in and do that. For any of you that are joining us for the first time, the reason we go by the Little Black Couch is because I want to do this. I apologize. For my little buddy here. So this is my buddy. His name is actually Buddy. But this is my Buddy the Little Black Couch. He has been with me for a number of years. He was the little couch of a gentleman who worked down the hall from me. And when he was retiring, he was getting rid of all his stuff. And he had this little black couch. So this thing has been with me for over 20 years. And I don't know how long it'd been with him. But this guy has seen a lot of entrepreneurial stuff, and so I didn't want to name the show after myself because that seems gross. So I named it after a couch. So yeah, the Little Black Couch with Aaron Stewart. That's about as good as I could get. So, and really we just talk about entrepreneurship. My whole goal here, honestly, is just to make sure that some of the experiences and ideas and things that I've seen over the last 30 years, whether it's been traveling around and working with other entrepreneurs in 56 countries around the world, or whether it's been in research, looking at those different folks working in their countries, or whether it's been in starting and building companies of my own. I've worked with Fortune 100 companies. I've built companies that go, sort of B2C, and trying to figure that all out. And now trying to fold that into this idea of going online and being live and getting your message out. It used to be back, I have a little company called Solo SEO, and so search engine optimization. It used to be we talked about content all the time and making sure that you put up content. And what content meant back then was to put up graphics and interesting, maybe some downloads of different programs to use, or definitely a blog, and making sure that all of that was optimized so you could get free traffic from the search engines. And now we're seeing, definitely in this modern age, with Facebook ads and all the social media platforms, that content can come in a variety of different mediums, such, for example, lives, Facebook lives and video and all of that. So trying to get into all that is definitely where I am. That's the learning curve I'm trying to move up right now and apply to it everything that I've learned over the years and make this work somehow. So this is the journey that I'm on, and I'm happy to have any of you who are joining and worried about or wondering about how to make that transition from a more traditional entrepreneurial or small business world into this sort of online craziness, Wild West type of a situation. I'm with you. It's crazy. It's crazy for sure, but we're trying to figure it out and make it happen. So what I wanted to talk today about was this idea of, we hear a lot online, especially from a lot of the gurus out there, that we need to find what our passion is and then use that passion to drive something inside of us to make a business out of it. And I like the concept. It's one that I heard very early on in graduate school. Everybody was sort of touting, go out and find something that you're passionate about and then make that your occupation. Now, in school, they're more of sort of driving you into a different, what kind of industry you can be passionate about, because they're talking about going and getting a job with a big corporation and traveling the world and doing it all that way, which is fine. It's definitely one way to do it. I eventually worked my way into this entrepreneurship concept, and now trying to figure out how to do it yourself. It's sort of the same thing, and everybody who is in entrepreneurship and has been in entrepreneurship over the years has sort of the same thing. You hear Steve Jobs talk about it. You hear a lot of folks talk about it over the years, that find something that you're passionate at, make it your occupation, make it your life's focus, and figure out how to make money doing it. Well, something happened yesterday that fascinated me. So I was on a mastermind call in a little group that I'm in that's just, it's a much different sort of mastermind. You get in some of these masterminds and it's all about things that you've accomplished and things that you've done and experiences you've had and how much money you've made, and it kind of becomes sort of and sometimes they grow into something a little more special than that, but usually these masterminds just, I don't know, they seem somewhat disingenuous, and they kind of turn into a big group of braggarts sometimes, right? Well, this particular group that I'm in is definitely not that way. It's exactly the opposite. It's very nurturing. It's very caring. We get more into the mental side of things and mindset and motivations and all that kind of stuff. And making sure that we are identifying in our own lives what those passions are, what our mindset is, and trying to get that all aligned so we can deliver what we're trying to get out of us to everybody and make a difference. It's really about learning how you can take what's inside of you and make a difference. So I've been real business and real sort of focused on that kind of thing most of my career, and I didn't really focus or care about what I was working on. It didn't matter. If it made money, that was good enough. And I did find some passion in helping stay-at-home moms earn some revenue. That definitely, what I was doing was not very interesting to me, so I had to create a passion out of it to keep me interested, and that was delivering work to people that wanted to stay at home, take care of their kids. And that was about as good as it got. But I was happy to leave the office, and now I love being in the office. I love working on the things that I'm working on, but they just don't pay a whole lot of money yet, right? So I'm trying to figure out that part of it too. So I've got to, that's what we're working on, right? That's what we're trying to come with. Well, I came across in this mastermind group yesterday, I came across this fascinating individual, and I've actually done, I know he probably doesn't remember, but we actually, in Funnel Hacking Live, we actually were grouped together and did a little project together. And this guy is so passionate and so excited about what he does. And what he does and what he's passionate about is something that I have like zero interest in. Like I could care less, right? And so he's a guy that he's developed a program to help individuals get off kind of the American diet and really go totally, whole foods based. And don't get me wrong, I think obviously I've got a product that I take every day that's based on whole foods. So I get the whole foods concept, but I don't get this idea of, like, I just cannot accept that only eating vegetables is the best way to go, because I hate them. I absolutely hate vegetables. So anyway, so this, we got together in this little group, this Funnel Hacking Live group, and he kind of presented his program, and I was super excited because he's incredibly passionate and he's super knowledgeable, and he's, you know, he's very thin and slender and he looks super healthy and all that. But and he's, and that's what he wants to help. He wants people to get as excited about their cholesterol and their blood pressure, so much so that they'll only eat vegetables, and that their blood pressure and that their, you know, that their risk of cardiovascular, whatever, death would be reduced. Well, I sat and watched this yesterday, and I was so amazed. I am always amazed when he gives his pitch, because it is so awesome to watch how excited he is about it. But I sit there completely impressed with how he's presenting it, but completely inert as a consumer. I mean, I am his avatar, right? I know for sure that my blood pressure probably isn't where it used to be. I used to pay attention to my blood pressure. I don't care anymore. I used to pay attention to my diet, and in my 40s, it was very important for me to be fit and run and work out and marathons and all. 50s, could care less. I could die tomorrow, don't care. So to motivate a person like me, one who needs it, by saying, hey, if you can eat vegetables, then all of this can go away. I have absolutely no doubt that that's true. 100%, I think that if I followed this program and ate vegetables and only vegetables, that I would absolutely thin down, my blood pressure would get better and all of that. But I also know that I would be miserable. There is no way that I can eat that many vegetables and be happy, right? Vegetables make me sick. So when I turned, I don't know, I was just over 40, and my wife and I were out to dinner, and so we got the obligatory salad, you know, because you have to be healthy. And I was eating this salad, and there's a couple things that happen. When I eat vegetables, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get nauseated, and I'm going to be sick later that night. Doesn't matter what kind of vegetable it is. If it's raw at all, I'm going to get sick. My body hates vegetables, and I had some internal issues and went septic a number of years ago. My body's just never come back to where it can process vegetables very well. And I'm not willing to force enough down me to give my body a chance to, I don't know, build up whatever it needs to build up, the probiotics or the enzymes or whatever it is to process it. I just don't care enough. I mean, they're just not that good. And so I'm not willing to go through the misery to give my body a chance to. So what does this guy do with a guy like me? And the answer is nothing. There is no way. You can't threaten me with death because I don't care. Everybody's going to die. If I die from heart disease, so be it. Not afraid of dying. When it's your time to go, you're going to go. It doesn't matter if it's car wreck. You know, I'm just not one of those guys that's going to be motivated by the fear of death. I'm not going to be motivated by, hey, you won't be able to play with your grandkids. Well, if I'm supposed to play with the grandkids, I'll play with the grandkids. If I'm not supposed to play with the grandkids, then I'll see you later. Again, so what does he do for a group of folks like me to get me motivated to be interested in what he has to sell? And the answer is, it's not going to happen. You can't do it. It doesn't matter how many times he pitches me or asks me or tries to convince me or shows me data or does whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to eat vegetables. I am not his avatar. I may fit the demographics exactly of what he's looking for, right? Overweight, pasty white, in my 50s, high blood pressure, congenital heart failure runs in my family, heart attacks run in my family. I mean, I am the poster child. I don't care. I'm not eating vegetables. I'd rather die. So what does he do? I had a Zoom call this morning with a couple who's a young couple who's really awesome, and we've become friends in a different group. and they have sort of gone off and they're in the travel business, and they travel 24/7. They never ever stop. They don't own a home, nothing. And you could say, I'm not, right? I don't like to travel, right? So I'm not their perfect avatar, but I have become friends with them, and I do help them with their business when they have questions, and I enjoy helping them because they're so gracious. In fact, these are the folks right here.
We just want you to know,
as a mate,
you're amazing.
you're the bomb.com, bro. Thank you so much
for that clarity.
Cheers, man.
Okay, so when I help them, I usually get some sort of videos and stuff back thanking me like that. So they're awesome, and I love doing it, and they appreciate the stuff that I have to share. So I was with them this morning, and they were talking how they were so frustrated because people that were getting, so they have a funnel that's driving people into a consultation call, and then they get them on the call, and these are not the right clients, and this is what we're talking about. So what do you do to make sure that you're talking to the right people? And people have a really hard time with this, but you've got to make sure, all of us have to make sure that when we're going out and we're marketing ourselves and we're marketing our services, that we're setting in place certain systems to weed out all the folks so they never have to waste their time with somebody like me. I am never going to travel. I will, my poor sweet wife, she loves to travel, she wants to travel. I've seen 50 plus some odd countries in the world. I never want to see them again, right? There's nothing better than sleeping in your own bed and coming to your own office and eating the same food. Living out of a hotel for 2 days drives me absolutely batty. I hate it. Okay, so I'm not the guy. So they've got to figure out a way to make sure that I never ever get through to talk to them, because it's going to be a waste of their time. Now, this guy that's selling the whole lifestyle change of vegetables and lowering, heart risk and all that, I may appear to be somebody that he should talk to because I have got all the characteristics of his perfect avatar. But the problem is, I'm not changing. I won't. I refuse. I don't care what you tell me. You can add 10 years to my life. Why would I want to do that? So I am not the guy you want to talk to. So we have to make sure that we set up systems to, when you think of a funnel, and I love funnels, right? You've got this funnel that takes them down to a cell. Well, you've got to think you've got a funnel coming in to your funnel. You don't want people getting into your funnel that are not qualified to be there. You don't want to waste your time, your assets, your thoughts, your email sequences. You don't want to waste any of it on those people that you just cannot motivate with your passion. And I know that when we get passionate about something, we really believe that everybody who has the money to pay us for whatever that is, that we can convince them that they need what we have. But there's just a certain demographic out there that is never, ever going to buy from you. And you have to do whatever you possibly can to make sure that you've got systems in place that let them know, look, this is not going to work for you. Okay, so some of the recommendations that I made to this couple was make sure that, like, when you're going up for your call, ask them if they're going to have enough money. Ask them if they want to travel all the time. Ask them if all these hard questions, and yet are those folks going to go through to your funnel? No, they're not. Are you going to have the opportunity to send email sequences to them to try to get them, develop them to a point where they're going to buy? What's the point? They're just going to mark you as spam, and they're not going to want to receive your emails because you are not going to be able to convince a certain portion of the population that your products are going to work for them. You have to identify. The sooner you can identify those people and get them out of your life, the better off you're going to be. You will be buying back time if you can somehow or another make your message one that goes through and weeds out those folks that are never, ever going to buy from you. It saves tons of time. So don't be afraid to be bold when you're approaching clients. Don't be afraid of potential clients. Don't be afraid to go in. Hey, Lance, how are you, bud? It is a happy Friday. It's Friday the 13th. That's one of my favorite Fridays. I'm not superstitious at all. So Lance is in the house. So that's what we have to do. Make sure that when you set up your funnels and you set up Every better late than never. Boom. Add to broadcast. It is better late than never. And this is a good point. Okay. Lance's point is well taken in this presentation. It is better late than never to start doing this, right? To go look through your sales processes and add steps that absolutely make it so when somebody gets to you and you talk to them, they absolutely are somebody that could possibly buy from you. Until they get there, don't do it. Your time is too valuable. Too valuable. You cannot allow people to get you on the phone and rob you of your time. Now, I know that there's really good people out there and we want to talk to them and there's a time to do that. But it's outside of business hours. But when you're at business and when it's time to take these calls and schedule these calls, those folks have to be qualified to be the right kind of people that will buy from you, especially if you're going to trade some of your time to talk to them. Have to be. So that's my recommendation to anybody out there who is super passionate about what you want to do. Understand that your passion isn't going to be enough to convince some people. And that's totally okay. And make sure that you are setting up your pre-funnel, your pre-sell, your pre-qualification, whether it's a form, whether it's emails that are going out, whether it's a live video, whatever. Make sure that you frame it in a way that you disqualify as many people as possible who were never, ever going to buy from you. And you will save tons of time. I just get so sick. I used to believe that if I could just talk to somebody, if I could just show them the benefits, if I could just show them everything that, so we sold an SEO product. So essentially, SEO is good for every website. And period. There's just absolutely no way that you can say to me, okay, Lance, good one here. Find the right customer. Great advice. You have to, okay? So in our situation with solo SEO, there is no doubt, and nothing's changed. There is no doubt that doing SEO and search engine optimization on your website will benefit your business. No question. It's 100%. We have never, ever failed. If somebody's willing to apply solid SEO strategies to their website, they will always do better. They will get free traffic and they will grow. Okay? That's just the facts. Now, is everybody going to buy from us? Absolutely not. But when we went into that business, I believed that everybody was our client. And so our avatar was anybody with a website. Well, does anybody with a website have money to pay every single month to do the work, to pay the bill? No. Do people have the time to actually get in and do the work? No. Are people actually willing to go in and become educated enough to learn how to do it and do it correctly? Are people going to write their own content? Are people going to optimize their own content? You start throwing all this stuff out there and you start to shorten and reduce the number of folks that will actually pay for our services, our platform. And that was very hard for me. And the problem was then we were wasting so much time processing so many different people and sending out so many messages and trying to convince anybody with a website that we were right for them, that we wasted so much time in trying to hone down our message. Had we been able to hone down our message earlier in our business, I think things would have gone a lot better. And we would have brought on clients that, this is the real deal. If you work so hard and are so passionate that you can convince people that your product may actually work for them, even though they don't believe that it actually will, those are the people that are going to gobble up 80 to 90% of your time with gobs of questions and gobs of problems and want to have their hands held and do all of it. They will suck the living life right out of you. You don't want those folks. Okay. You want the folks that are a perfect fit for what you've got to go on. And there are so many people like that. There's a problem. I think that there's a perception sometimes as entrepreneurs that there's not enough people out there. There are tons of people out there that want your services. Okay? There is more than enough to go around. You can find those people, but you've got to make sure that when you're talking to those people and they get in there, that they're not going to take your business on a sidetrack and take you down the right. This is great. Even plumbers, Lance is a plumber, even plumbers have the right customer. If they aren't willing, let's see, I got to move this out. If they aren't willing to pay my service fee, then they aren't my customer. That's the bottom line. I mean, I can say Lance's situation is good. What Lance does is a very skilled profession, right? And I can see people who would call Lance up and try to get him on the phone and get some free advice. Right? Lance has to be careful with that. People that call up and ask, hey, you know, for a service fee or whatever, want some free advice. Lance has got a business to run. He cannot waste all his time on people asking for free advice. If they can't pay him, he's got to move on. And the social hours for after work hours. So I appreciate that, Lance, very much. Excellent words there. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to say here on this Friday the 13th. I know that it might be a scary message to some, but be bold in your pre-sale. Make sure that they can check off the boxes. Make sure that they absolutely are going to be the kind of people that can buy from you and are not going to suck your life dry after they come on as a client. Make sure you ask those questions beforehand and don't be afraid to do so. You can have an abundant life and find all the clients you need and be able to actually bring on more clients because you've got the right clients, right? That's what we're looking for in this wonderful world of entrepreneurship. So I hope you have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend. It was good to go live again. I know I don't typically wear plaid, so I went with plaid today. We had a funeral, which was a really nice funeral. And I can explain why later, but a super nice funeral, and I just so grateful to have this chance to hop on with you. So go out, find the right clients, have a great weekend. Entrepreneurs are changing the world. We will continue to change the world. And if we aren't out there having experiences and thinking about these things, then we are going to miss out on solving problems for other people. So I appreciate all of you entrepreneurs out there who are contributing so positively to society. Don't give up. Find your passion, but then let's be smart about it when we build our business so we can help as many people as we possibly can. Till next time, Aaron Stewart from The Little Black Couch.